Hi guys, so in today's video we are going to cover The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, Season 2 Episode Number 1 Explanation. Let's get start the video. At the beginning of the story, we are shown a scene of Amane, and the guy was quite nervous in a way, and at the same time, he was thinking about yesterday's things. And after that, he starts waiting for Mahiru to arrive. And finally, Mahiru comes to him. And honestly, right now, both of them were feeling quite awkward. Neither of them understood what they should talk about with each other. And at the same time, Amane starts saying that if you look at it, this girl, who looks exactly like an angel, lives in the apartment next to mine, and I love her a lot. Yes, I know she looks way out of my league, but still, I fell in love with her. I even told her about it. And then Mahiru suddenly starts walking and sits right beside him. And now both of them were very nervous. No one understood what to do. And after that, while blushing, she slowly starts placing her head on his shoulder. But seeing all this, the guy gets really nervous. He had not even looked at Mahiru properly yet. And after seeing this, Mahiru also becomes a little sad and says, "What happened, Amane? Do you not like all this at all?" And then Amane says, No, it is not like that, honestly. I am feeling very nervous earlier. We were just friends, so it did not matter much. But now it feels very strange. And then Mahiru says, honestly, I am also feeling the same whenever I see you. I feel strange, but even then I like it a lot. When I try to come close to you, I feel really good. Hearing this, Amane also feels happy that Mahiru really likes him. And then Mahiru says that we should not hide our feelings. Whatever we feel, we should tell each other openly. Honestly, the guy was still very scared, and it is obvious he has never talked to any girl before, and now, suddenly, an angel-like girl became his girlfriend. But still, he gathers courage and tries to move a little closer to Mahiru. But even then, Mahiru gets a little angry and says, "What are you doing who sits this far away?" And then she asks, "Tell me honestly when I touch you, or come close to you. Do you feel uncomfortable?" And Amane says, "No, it is not like that. I just do not know what couples do. And honestly, I am feeling very nervous." And he says that this is my first time having a girlfriend. So it feels strange hearing this. Mahiru also gets surprised and says, "This boy is really crazy. Everyone has a first time, even I also have my first boyfriend." And after that she says, "It would be best if we tell each other many things. And also, we should hug each other." And then Amane says, "What is new in that we already do all this normally?" Hearing this, Mahiru also starts thinking and says, "Yes, you are right. We already do all this." Normally, both of them could not understand what to do. And then Mahiru says, "We should just let things go as they are. Everything will happen on its own." Hearing this, Amane also feels good and says, "Mahiru, you are really amazing. You solved such a big problem so easily." And he says that whatever is happening, we will let it continue like this, and I will try to impress you more and make you feel better. And now both of them hug each other lovingly, and then Mahiru says, "From Monday, should we go to school together like a couple?" Amane says, "If you want, then we can do that." And now we are shown Monday scene, where Amane was changing clothes. And Mahiru comes there and says, "What kind of behavior is this?" And Amane says, "I was just changing clothes." And then Mahiru says, "You should not change like this. Go somewhere else and change." And the guy thinks, just now she was acting like a couple, and suddenly what happened to her? And after that he goes and changes clothes. And then Mahiru says, "Honestly, I am feeling a little jealous. You got your hair cut, and today you look really amazing. I am scared that some other girl might like you." And then Amane says, "Are you crazy? Who will I like other than you? Obviously." And literally both of them were very close. And then Mahiru says, "I will love you so much that you will not like anyone else." Literally, she was saying such lines, and all these efforts made Amane feel really good, and he thinks Mahiru is really putting in effort. And then he says, "I should tell everyone about this side of yours. How kind and good you really are." But hearing this, Amane gets scared. Mahiru says, "Are you crazy? Do not do anything like that. It can create big problems." And now both of them were going to school holding each other's hands just like a real couple, and some other students from their school were behind them, and seeing the angel holding hands, they got really shocked. They could not understand how this guy got such a girlfriend. After that, we see Chitosa's scene, and she also becomes very happy seeing them holding hands. She says, I told you if you do this, it will work. And now, Amane also understands that all the efforts Mahiru was making were actually suggested by Chitose, and their friendship had become very deep, and Amane thanks her a lot. And now in the class we see both friends talking nicely, and Amane's friend congratulates him, saying your girlfriend has become an angel, and Amane also feels happy, and says, I feel like everything is complete now. And suddenly a girl comes to Amane and starts praising him, saying, you look very different today, honestly. You look very good. Did you get a haircut? And many girls in the class start talking about Amane. And obviously all this was because of Mahiru. And all this did not feel good to Mahiru. She felt a little strange. And then she goes to Amane and directly says, Amane, you are really a bad person. I confess to you, but you never said whether you like me or not. And Amane says, are you crazy? Why would I not like you? And both of them start arguing in a cute way. Mahiru says, you are lying. I told you I like you. And Amane says, yes, I know you told me that, but that does not mean I do not like you. And both of them keep arguing like this, and then they notice the whole class was watching them, and everyone was blushing. They all felt Mahiru looked very cute while fighting. And some boys from the class come to talk to Amane, and since he became friends with Mahiru, he had started opening up. And now everyone in class started knowing him, and Mahiru had also started changing, becoming more normal. And Amane says earlier, everyone used to think you were an angel, but now most people know you are my girlfriend. So no boy will trouble you, and they will treat you normally. And hearing this, Mahiru feels really happy. And then we see lunchtime where all friends were eating together. Mahiru had brought food for Amane, and honestly, he liked it a lot. And Chitose also says, it looks amazing, give me some. But Amane directly refuses to share. And then Mahiru asks Amane, what kind of food do you like? I want to know everything about your preferences so I can cook tasty food for you. And Amane says, you do not need to do that. Whatever you like, I like too. I will happily eat whatever you bring. But Mahiru insists and says, it does not work like that. You have to tell me what you like the most. And Amane says, okay, I will tell you. And now both of them were going home, holding hands. And on the way, Amane says, today was a tough day. Because when everyone found out that I became the angel's boyfriend, the boys were looking at me angrily. But Mahiru saved me otherwise. They might have done something and then both go shopping for vegetables and think what to eat at night. Usually they never came shopping together. But now everyone knew about their relationship. So there was no need to hide anything. They decide to eat fish instead of chicken, and after buying fish, they leave. And on the way, Amane says, I feel like we rush things. It has only been half a year. We got into a relationship very quickly. Maybe we should have taken more time. But Mahiru gets angry and says, are you crazy? Half a year is a lot of time. And she says, if I had confessed earlier, we could have been together sooner. Hearing this, Amane feels happy, and then next day at school, Mahiru was talking nicely with girls, and Amane thinks she has opened up a lot earlier. She only used to talk to me, but now she talks to everyone, and this makes him feel a little jealous. And his friend says, you should not feel like this. She is happy because she is in a relationship with you, and that is why she is expressing herself, and Amane agrees. And after class, we see a girl studying, and Amane was teaching her, and she says earlier, you were very quiet, but now you have changed a lot, and everyone talks to you. And Amane says yes. I also noticed this change, and it is because of Mahiru. If she had not come into my life, this would not have happened. And they keep talking, and suddenly Mahiru comes there, and the girl gives chocolate to Amane for teaching her, and leaves. And seeing this, Mahiru does not like it, and says, how can you take chocolate from a girl? And Amane says, you should not feel jealous. There is nothing like that. And Mahiru says, yes, I know. And then both spend a cute moment together, and Amane says, I just want to stay with you like this forever, and Mahiru says, I also want the same. And with this, the episode ends here. Tell in the comments section how you liked today's episode, and if it gets good response, I will continue us to the story. So hit that like, subscribe button. See you in the next video. Goodbye.